If you're already in high ticket sales, or maybe you're considering getting into it, then what I'm about to share with you might completely change your trajectory for the better. Because there's a new model that's emerging, one that gives you more commissions, more income, more time freedom, all without needing to work any more hours or deal with B2C buyers who think everything's a scam. This, guys, truly is the new high ticket sales meta, I promise you. And after closing over 4 million in high ticket deals myself, I'm going to break down exactly why this new model is outperforming traditional high ticket sales offers in every way imaginable. I'm also going to show you the kind of results and numbers that my clients are getting in this new model. I'll show you a side-by-side comparison. I'll show you exactly how this all works. And for those of you who do watch this video until the end, you are about to know exactly how you can make life-changing money within the next few months, all while establishing yourself in the most growing, in-demand industry in the world right now. Let's go. For you that are returning viewers, maybe you're subscribed to the channel, maybe you've watched my previous content. First off, I want to say I thank you, I appreciate you. And for the new viewers, a very quick bit of context as to who I am. My name is Scott Parsons. I've been in sales my whole adult life. A couple of years ago, I transitioned to remote high-ticket sales where, in a fairly short period of time, I closed over 4 million worth of deals, netting 600,000 in commissions, working for some of the biggest names in the industry, such as Charlie Morgan was a top 2 performer on his sales team, Brooke Hiddink, another very well-respected founder, again a top performer on his sales team, and with that social proof aside, let's dive in. My promise to you is that those of you who watch this video until the end, who implement this new knowledge that you've learned here today, you are literally about to skyrocket your income and your life. Specifically speaking, you're going to have more money, a lot more time, you're going to have more freedom, you're going to be selling offers that are much easier, and you're going to be part of the most thriving, in-demand industry in the world right now. Now, first off, though, I really want to set the scene, and I want to set the scene of why what you're selling truly does matter. No matter sometimes what sales managers want to tell you that, oh no, it doesn't matter, it's nothing to do with the leads, it's nothing to do with what you're selling, it's all your fault. Well, not quite. Making the big money in sales is not always just tied to your sales skill or even how hard you work. What is also massively important, you could even argue more important, is what you are selling, the industry and the opportunity vehicle that you are operating within. So think about this. Let's say that two people were going to have a race. Person one is an Olympic gold medalist sprinter, Usain Bolt levels, a world record holder as one of the fastest individuals on the planet. Person two's in a car. Who's going to win that race? Obviously person two, because they are in a much better, faster vehicle. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what we call leverage. And the same is true in sales. You could be somebody could be the best salesperson in the world. That maybe they're selling in the newspaper industry, right? Which is a declining, old, basically dead industry. And they're going to have other salespeople who are far less skilled than them, even far less hardworking than them. But those other people operating in a different, better industry will make much more money. Because again, that person is in a declining, old industry with not that much money in it. Now, yes, guys, I want to make a disclaimer. Of course, skills matter. Absolutely. Yes, your work ethic matters. Your mindset, your character traits, that stuff all matters 100%. But the opportunity vehicle, or you can also call it the industry that you're operating in, really can be the key to you just unlocking the big money and living the life that you want. Literally, if nothing else changed, your skills stayed the same, your mindset, who you are, etc. stayed the same, but you just got into a much better industry and again, had that leverage, you would literally just, boom, unlock an entirely new level of income. I've seen great salespeople that struggle in very bad industries, and I've also seen mediocre salespeople do, $15,000 a month plus when they're in a great industry and a great offer. And this is something that I give to my guys that I work with. I've been doing this a long time. I've trained like over 80 clients. Again, been in sales my whole adult life, and I really have been able to see what gets you to a certain income level. And from what I've seen in my observation, analysis, and a lot of reflection, here's a kind of summary table that, if you're earning below 10,000 a month, that is obviously not good. Something's going wrong. It could be a combination of poor skill level and or, a poor industry that you're operating within. 10 to 20K a month is about the average of what you can make if you have a good skill level, you're working in a good industry, on a good offer. But when we start to talk the big numbers, the 20K a month plus, which is what I want all you guys to be at, by the way. In my opinion, 20K a month is the new 10K a month. 20K a month is really where you do unlock a new level of lifestyle, freedom, inner peace, security. That's really where I want you guys and all my clients that I'm working with to be at least 20,000 a month. So now let me show you the better industry, okay? This is a side-by-side comparison of a traditional, old school high-ticket sales offer, maybe coaching, maybe info, versus what we call AI implementation offers, which is the kind of offers that I and my clients focus on specifically. Now, what you're selling, again, in standard high-ticket sales offers is often, info, courses, coaching. I know, of course, there are other industries, but that's often the bulk of what people are selling in high-ticket sales. Versus AI implementation offers, you are selling very premium B2B AI systems solving very painful business problems. This is where it starts to get a bit key here, price points. In a standard high-ticket sales role, you're often talking price points of 3 to 8K. Of course, there are offers which are more 10, 12K, yet fine. But in my experience, about 3 to 8K is average. Whereas in this industry, 20,000 is the minimum. It's typically $20,000 to $40,000, although I've 100% had clients that have closed deals for 60, 70, 80K. As you'll see in a second, I've had somebody recently close a deal for over 200K. Now, don't get me wrong, that's not upfront. It's on a bit of a recurring monthly. I'll go into more detail on that in just a second. But very, very high price points. Minimum 20K, average 20 to 40K. Now, what does that mean? It means that commission-wise, in a standard high-ticket sales offer, you're netting, on average, $500 to $1,000 per sale. This one, 2,000 is the bare minimum, but you can even earn up to 4, 5, 6,000 per sale. Prospect type. In high ticket sales offers, traditionally, you're often speaking with, a B2C market, often unsophisticated. I don't want to insult them too, you know what I mean. Somewhat unsophisticated. Sometimes, don't get me wrong, you get also, very sophisticated B2C prospects, but generally speaking, it's often unsophisticated prospects. Whereas in this market, in these AI implementation offers, you're speaking solely to B2B founders and CEOs. Lead quality, high-ticket sales offers are often with very cold, skeptical buyers. Again, like I said at the start of this video, they think that everything's a scam. Whereas in these AI implementation offers, you're speaking with warm leads who are naturally very curious and very interested in AI. They know that they need it. It's perfect. We're at such a good evolution stage of the market right now. All of these business owners, the cash-rich ones that we focus on, they all know that they need to implement AI. So they go to an AI implementation business that, by the way, me and my company, we make deals with these kind of businesses that they hire salespeople through us. And, they're targeting a cash-rich market. They bring in a salesperson like you. They give you 10 to 15% of the deal at much higher price points and much higher commissions for you. Anyways, I'm getting sidetracked now. We'll go into more detail in just a second. This is an interesting one, though. The units that you need to make good money in a traditional high-ticket sales role, you're often talking, you need to do 20 units a month to make even half decent money. Whereas in this industry, we're talking literally 3 to 5 sales a month can net you a 5-figure income. And obviously we're looking to go, much more than 3 to 5 units, but just even that low volume, that, we'd start talking 10, 15K a month plus. Sales cycle wise, in high ticket sales offers, it's often one call is about an average process. It can often be with a lot of resistance, a lot of objection handling by the nature of the market. Again, you're B2C, often unsophisticated, often very skeptical, think everything's a scam. So if you can get it done in one call, you're often facing a lot of resistance. Now, in this industry, the sales cycle is longer. Again, we're dealing with very premium high price points, 20, 30, 40K plus. And that means the sales process is often spread out across 2 to 4 calls. But they are often shorter calls. So in a traditional high ticket sales offer, you're typically trying to close in one call, but that call might be, 1 up to even 1.5, 2 hours. In this industry, yes, you're doing more calls, but the calls are shorter, okay? Some people might see that as a negative, longer sales cycles, but trust me, guys, as you'll see throughout this is a benefit to you. It really, really is. Now, conversation quality. Guys, I really don't want to make out like I'm, really hating on B2C markets. I promise you I'm not. Like, B2C high-ticket sales changed my life. Got nothing against them, but I've taken thousands of calls in that market, and it is often, not always, but often very repetitive, bordering on brain rot conversations sometimes, right? Again, of course, there's nuance. Of course, you get very sophisticated, highly intelligent B2C prospects, without a doubt. Whereas in this new AI sales model, you're dealing with, you're often having very strategic, very fun, very interesting, high-level conversations with high-level people. Again, I've done thousands of calls in a B2C market, and it can get a bit boring, guys. Let's be real. Anybody that's watching this that's done thousands of calls in a B2C market knows exactly what I'm talking about. Whereas these calls, it's slightly different every single time. Again, you're meeting like very high level people, which is good for your network as a little bit of a bonus. And they're just fun, interesting conversations. Industry perception, again, goes back to what I said earlier. We are at an all-time low in a B2C, from a B2C trust standpoint. You know, there's often very negative perceptions of people that sell courses, which in my opinion is wrong, because I've been through courses that have changed my life. Of course, you always get bad apples, and there are people that unfortunately are legitimate scam artists. But, you know, again, perception is just at an all-time low. Whereas in this industry, guys, think about this. This is so future-facing. It's so innovative. It's so valuable. All of these prospects perceive that they need it. They're not thinking about this as some scam. They're like, no, I need this. It's just about who I'm going to buy it from. And all this ultimately means earning potential. In high-ticket sales, you're typically looking at 5 to 20K a month. Now, yes, I know that there are closers doing above 20K a month, above 30K a month, even some above 40K a month. I mean, I've done that myself. But the thing is that from my experience, that's like the top of the top. You know, it's like, you know, most people are scraping 5, 10K a month, you know. Whereas in this industry, I have seen complete beginners, like guys that I've worked with in their very, very first month do over 12K in their very, very first month. And that's something that in my experience, you know, most guys in traditional high ticket sales offers just don't hit those kind of numbers that quickly. In this space, I'm seeing guys do 35, 40K a month plus, and they are, I mean, not amazingly skilled. Like, you know, typically if you're, you know, doing plus 30K a month in traditional high ticket sales, you've normally got a very, very good skill level, and you're also selling a great offer. I'm seeing guys that are kind of, you know, I mean, they're not bad, but they're not incredible. And they're doing, again, 25, 30, 35K a month plus. Much more earning potential in this space, guys. But let's get in a little bit more detail. Why is this model so much better for you? I'm talking, by the way, this model, remote sales for AI businesses. Ultimately, guys, the big reason which I imagine appeals for most of you is massive, much better earning potential. Again, high price points, 20 to 40K plus. What that means is massive commissions for you. Again, average 2,000 to 6,000 per sale versus more like $500 in a traditional high ticket sales role. Like I mentioned earlier, I had recently a guy close a deal for $20,000 a month. I got him into a top tier offer with a great AI enterprise software company. $20,000 a month, that's over 200K, of which, by the way, he's on 10% commission. So he's just now getting recurring $2,000 a month. Again, you know, side note here, but how often is it that in high ticket sales you get recurring income? I mean, it's practically non-existent in my experience. He's getting $2,000 a month passively now for the next 1 year minimum. He might get it for the next 2 years. Crazy times. Time freedom as well. This is not a typical high ticket sales role where you've got 8 to 10 bookings a day. In this space, you've often got more like 3 to 4 new bookings a day. Now, don't get me wrong. I don't want to set bad expectations here, especially for you guys that end up working with me. I'm not saying this takes no work. Please, I don't want it construed as that. There are going to be follow-ups. There are going to be second calls in this model. You know, there's a bit more stuff that happens in between the calls. But ultimately, guys, because you're focusing on higher value deals with less volume, it means you've got more time freedom. Think about this. Say that you're on a traditional high-ticket sales offer where the price point's $5,000, is about standard in this industry. Let's say the commission structure is 10%. That means you net $500 per sale. Versus this space, remote sales for established AI businesses, let's say your price point is 30K, 10% commission structure, you net $3,000 per sale. Now think about this. Working in a traditional high-ticket sales role like this one, you would have to make 6 sales to equal what you'd make in just 1 sale in this industry. So much higher value deals with less volume, that gives you more time to actually enjoy your money, to do the things that you want, live out whatever, you know, other kind of side hobbies and interests and dreams that you have. Ultimately, guys, more efficiency. This is what this model is. It's more efficient for you as a salesperson. This more efficiency equals more money and equals more time freedom for you. But the third one, this is a really, really important one. High demand. Like I briefly mentioned earlier, we are at a stage of evolution in the market where, like, these cash-rich business owners that we focus on, they know that they need to implement AI or they will be at a competitive disadvantage. I spoke about this on another video. It's called a Darwinian effect, where a business has to adapt to the changes, otherwise they'll, again, be at a disadvantage. And I can say from first-hand experience, guys, my day-to-day, well, a big part of my day-to-day life now is literally speaking with top-level AI business founders daily. And I can tell you guys for a fact, demand for these high-ticket AI solutions is soaring. Think about this, guys. This is just off the top of my head what I just thought of. What do you think would be harder to sell, genuinely? A $5,000 course to a 19-year-old who's got 6,000 in the bank, or a $30,000 high-ticket AI solution to a business owner who's got hundreds of thousands in the bank and knows that he needs this? What's going to be easier to sell? Obviously the AI solution, but the difference is that one nets you more like 3,000 per sale, whereas the other one is, nets you 500. Easier sales, guys, I'm telling you. Now, what this means for you is the demand and the stage of evolution that we're at means there is so much opportunity. There's such high volume of sales opportunity. Not only that, you're dealing with a high volume of leads, but you're also dealing with warm leads who, by the way, are actively looking to pay businesses for AI solutions. This gives you an easy, relatively speaking, again, guys, I don't want to set wrong expectations. I'm not saying that this is, you're just going to show up to a call, say a few words and close. There is skill that goes into this, and skill that's different to traditional high-ticket sales, by the way, as we'll go into in just a second. But relatively easy closes, guys, because of again, these business owners know they need to implement it. They're naturally curious and interested. They want to learn from you as the salesperson about their solution. They're not coming on thinking this is a scam. They're curious. They want to learn. They want to buy. And all this ultimately, guys, just means more money in your pocket as the salesperson. A lot more, by the way. But fourthly is no repetitive, again, I'm being a bit harsh there, but brain rot conversations. I've taken thousands of calls in the B2C market, and I know for a fact that you're often dealing with unsophisticated buyers, often beginners, often with very low financial resources. Like $5,000 in a B2C market for a lot of people, statistically most people of the population, that's a massive investment. Massive. Even if they have got the money, even if they do like your solution, even if they know that they need it, you're still dealing with financial fear. $30,000, guys, to the guys that we target, it's a drop in the ocean. I have a guy who sells a 30K, or it ranges between 20 to 30K, custom AI solution to education businesses. So any business that has an education component to the business, but it can also be like a university, a college, and like, guys, 30K to, like a big university, like it's nothing. It's a drop in the ocean. No financial objections. Well, actually, again, I don't want to set wrong expectations. So, there can be, you still need to know how to deal with financial objections in this space. But in my experience, they're a lot less common than traditional high-ticket sales offers. Again, I've done thousands of calls in this market. Some of you guys which are in high-ticket sales will know exactly what I'm talking about. That, you could go through a whole call with somebody, 1 hour long. You pitch perfectly. You're asking the right questions. You're delivering your communication effectively. Get to the very end of the call. You put your heart and soul into that call. And it turns out they got like $50 in the bank. It doesn't happen in this space, guys, or practically never. Versus AI sales in this space, remote sales for established AI businesses, again, we're speaking with very sophisticated business owners, founders, CEOs. Money is no issue, most of the time, of course. The companies that I personally bring my clients into and get them placed into roles within, we're solely focused on high-ticket AI solutions, and that business that you're going to be selling for targets a cash-rich market, cash-rich business owners and leaders. Again, to where 20, 30, 40K is not a lot of money to them. It's the equivalent of spending, a couple $100 in the B2C market for them. You're not having to sit there, because of the nature of the people that you're speaking with, you're not having to sit there, reframing a bunch of limiting beliefs. You're having very relaxed, very intelligent conversations, presenting custom solutions. It is a lot more chilled out than high-ticket sales offers where, you've got one call to close them, you're all energy or hypey. This is not like that. If you were to come into this space with the same kind of mindset and sales process as traditional B2C high-ticket, it's not going to go well. But we'll get into more details on that in a second, because this is something that I absolutely teach to my clients, the differences. With all this being said, though, you could be sat there thinking, okay, Scott, well, this sounds great, earning much more money for the same amount of work, closing deals for 2 to 6K, having more time freedom, all sounds great, but what is the catch? There is a catch, guys. To be honest, again, I build this entire brand of my business on transparency. I never want to set the wrong expectations. The catch is that if you don't know how to do the two below things, it's just frankly not going to work. You're not going to be able to make life-changing money in this space by selling for established AI businesses. Inversely, though, if you do know these two things that we're about to go through, your life is truly about to change. I am seeing this change so many lives. It's why I'm so passionate about it, if you haven't already been able to tell. It's changing lives, guys. I've seen so many of my clients' lives change. it's just an incredible time. I hope you guys get to experience this as well. But if you do know these two things, your life is about to change. You're going to be making life-changing money. You're going to be having more freedom than ever to go along with that money. You're going to be part of the most in-demand, exciting industry in the world right now. You're also, guys, this is like a bonus point, but it's actually very important. You're going to be establishing yourself and your brand, your reputation in this massive, growing industry, which you could argue is literally the future, one of the biggest industries in the world. You are establishing your brand and reputation, connections within this fast-growing industry. Like I mentioned earlier, there's the saying that, it doesn't matter how hard you row, it depends what boat you're in. And this is true. Why not be part of a rapidly growing, in-demand industry? You literally just position yourself like that. And again, this is what can just unlock the next level of income for you. Doing nothing else different, just operating in a better industry. Of course, you need to know what you're doing, and this is something that I help my guys that I'm working with. So what are these two things? Number one, you need to know how to land a remote sales role with a good AI business. Again, guys, I really want to, because, there is people popping up, 19-year-olds, nothing against 19-year-olds, by the way, but, some 19-year-old who just started an AI agency. No, sir. We are not selling for them. The companies that I bring my clients into, who they sell for, are very established AI businesses, doing 7, even multi-8 figures a year. Very established. Proof of concept, marketing systems, which means consistent lead flow and bookings for you. You need to know how to land a role with that kind of business. Very, very important. For example, recently, one of my clients, Alamin, we got him a role within literally 3 weeks to the day, as you can see there. Now, I can get my clients into top-level AI sales roles within 3 to 6 weeks, 3 weeks in this above example. I've done that plenty of times, by the way. But that's because this is my full-time work. Like, I've been doing this a long time. I know the game. I'm working 12, 14 hours a day, 6 days a week. By the way, not because I have to, because I enjoy it so much. I enjoy this industry and what I'm doing so much. But with that being said, I have the proven processes. I have the systems. I have the network. I know what I'm doing. And that ultimately can get my clients into remote sales roles with top AI businesses fast. If you don't have that, if you don't have the systems, processes, network, then it's just frankly not going to work, guys. Or at the very least, you're going to spend months, even years, wasting time, while other people are already closing deals worth 2,000 to 6,000 in commissions weekly. Guys that, by the way, might not be any better at sales than you. They might be worse. But because they're operating in a much more leveraged industry, they might be making double, triple, even quadruple what you're making. So you've got really two choices now, guys. You can try and figure this all out by yourself and, again, potentially waste months, even years, or just work with me. Fast track your success. Land a top-level role within the next 3 to 6 weeks, like Alamin, who I showed you earlier. Again, 3 weeks to the day. He was in a remote sales role with I cannot express, guys, a top AI business. Solid lead flow. 4 to 5 calls a day Alamin's going to be doing. They offer a very custom solution where there's practically no competition. And again, guys, of course, I'm so passionate about it, but I know it can change your life. Okay? If you do want to work with me, again, if you want to fast track your success, if you want to get to the big numbers, the 20, 30K a month plus, while establishing yourself in this incredible, growing, in-demand industry, just click the link in the description, watch the video that's on that page. It will give you a little bit more insight. And then, if it makes sense to you, schedule a call with me. Okay? But that does lead me nicely to the next point. If you don't know how to consistently close premium, high-ticket AI solutions to sophisticated business owners, it's just frankly not going to work. Let's say that even you can get a role by yourself with a top-level AI business. How are you going to close deals, guys? Again, this is different. This is different to traditional high-ticket sales. I promise you, sales process is different. It takes a different set of skills. And this is something that I teach my guys very, very in-depth. I get them into a role, and then I train them to be able to close deals once they're in the role. You put these two things together, and you are literally making life-changing money with more freedom than ever. Like I mentioned earlier, it's different to traditional high-ticket sales. You're not sat on calls trying to reframe somebody's limiting beliefs. Or, there might be a little bit of that, but it's a lot less common. You're not dealing with financial fear. Again, of course, nuance. Of course, you might be sometimes, but it's a lot more rare. You're selling very premium AI solutions to other business owners. And this, again, comes with, you need a different skill set and sales process for this industry, selling in the AI industry. But it is a skill set and sales process that if you master, I promise you guys, your income will skyrocket, and quickly as well. I'm talking literally the next few months. This industry moves fast, guys. which has its downsides, but its upsides for you is that this can all happen quickly. When I say 20, 30K a month, I mean literally this time within the coming months. Again, you saw Alamin, 3 weeks from the day of signing up, 3 weeks, he's in a top level role. I've had guys make over 12,000 the very first month of the role. Alamin's going to be on 20, 30K a month plus within the coming months. It can all happen fast. Because working with me, I give you absolutely everything you need to, again, both land a great remote sales role with a top-level AI business is important. They have to be a top-level business. By that, I mean, good marketing, good lead flow, a good reputation, a product that works. And I'll train you how to close these premium deals consistently, weekly. Take a look at another example, my client Craig. He now makes his old monthly salary in half a week, not 1 week, half a week. His old monthly salary was around about 4K a month. Check this out, guys. He now sells a AI service, which is at 30K. Typically, there's a few different packages, but average about 30K. 12% commission structure is 3.6K comms. He's doing about 2 a week. All right, guys, that's over 7K a week. Crazy times. And that role, by the way, we got him into that role within 4 weeks. He's now closing multiple deals worth 3.6K in commissions weekly, over 7K a week. I not only give Craig and can give you guys the systems, processes, network to land you a great role, I'll also give you literally everything you need to actually close these deals and make life-changing money once you're in the role. Again, within the coming months, this industry happens fast. I give you complete A to Z on selling in this industry across a few different pillars, by the way. Pillar number 1 is the self-paced educational resources. Over 30 hours of content, guys, delivered so that you can go through it at your own pace and learn how to close these deals. On top of that, one-to-one consulting. This is not some standard sales program, guys. I refuse to be like everybody else. I want the best product in the market. And with that, I do believe that a level of personalization is needed. A lot of these, sales trainers, they would never do one-to-one consulting because, frankly, it would just take up more of their time. I don't care. I will literally work for 16 hours a day. I'll work with all of my clients. I'll jump on one-to-one calls with you because, again, I want the best product in the market. I want you guys to get great results. From the standpoint of just, human to human, I want you to do well. But also the fact that, transparently, I've got a reputation to uphold. We have many top-level AI businesses who hire through us. I don't just, I want you to do well from a human standpoint, but I also need you to, because otherwise that AI business isn't going to hire another salesperson through me if they don't. So that's why I have an incentivized interest to make sure that you come into that role, you close deals straight out the gate, deals that are worth 2,000 to 6,000 in commissions, literally weekly. I'll sit with you on one-to-one calls. We'll train. Once you are in a role, by the way, I'm going to personalize and really dial in your sales process once you're in the role. I'll give you continued training, development, and with each new level of skill set and training and development that you reach, you're going to just reach the next level of income. But also group coaching as well. I do group coaching as well as literally sit on one-to-one calls with you. We do group sessions twice a week. We're going to be bumping up to 3 times a week soon. You're going to be jumping on with other like-minded people that are excited by that AI industry, people that are ambitious, people that want to make the big numbers, 20, 30, 40K. We're going to be doing some mock calls. We'll be doing some drills, some role play. There'll also be live lectures from me as well. So we do like one call is more of an interactive. Again, we do like mock scenarios. I might do another call where it's just kind of me speaking, live lectures, do a little bit of a Q&A on certain topics. And then I also bring in guest speakers as well. Top industry experts, by the way, that you cannot get access to unless that you've, in something like this. You can't just, maybe you can watch a YouTube video, but you can't ask them questions directly. Get your specific questions based on your specific situation answered from some of the top industry experts in both sales and AI. And this is all to say that, you get trained and ready to begin conducting calls in that AI industry and closing 2K to 6K deals in commissions weekly. Get you into a role within 3 to 6 weeks, then closing those deals straight out the gate. And how I get you a role is through a system that I call the Elite Role Formula. It's a 3-part system that works every single time. By the way, guys, I mean that literally. That's not a saying. I have a 100% success rate so far in getting my clients into top-level AI sales roles. Is it going to be 100% forever? No, no. Probably. Touch wood, hopefully. But I'm not expecting it to be 100%, forever. But right now, I promise you guys, it is 100%. And with all that, to make life-changing money, I'm talking 20, 30, even upwards of 40,000 a month, while having more freedom than ever, while being part of and establishing yourself in the most in-demand, growing industry in the world right now. And that is massive long-term leverage. you establish yourself in this industry that is so big, is so growing, is so in demand, and you establish yourself with the network, with the connections, maybe the personal brand in this industry. It's just life-changing, guys. And you are literally, by the way, 3 steps away from making this life your actual reality. All you need to do now, step number 1, is click the link in the description of this video. It will be the top link on the description. Step number 2, watch the video that's on that page. Step number 3, schedule a day and time for a call, and me and you will speak together directly. Thank you so much for watching, guys. It's been an absolute pleasure. So much more content is coming on remote sales for AI businesses. By the way, we call them AI implementation businesses, because there's a lot of different, when we talk about an AI business, there's a lot of subcategories. But us as remote high-ticket salespeople, we focus on one specific subcategory. By the way, if you want to know a little bit more about kind of this industry, I'd recommend to check out my video. Go to my channel, click a video called Remote AI Sales Will Make You Rich in 2025. Click that. I go into a bit more detail on like who actually hires for these roles, and again, just a little bit more detail on that front. But either way, guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. By the way, just before I go, I want to say that if you right here, you watching this video, I'm talking to you now. Congratulations on making it to the end of this video, because genuinely most people can't do that. Most people cannot focus. If you've got this level of focus, you can do very well in this industry, trust me, and make life-changing money. As long as you're working with somebody like myself who has the proven systems and processes, you who can focus, who can actually sit through a video you can sit and focus in the reward of, making life-changing money. And you're also ambitious by the nature of that you've watched this until the end. All that to say, you are the exact type of person that I love to work with, genuinely. Just go ahead, click the link in the description, watch that video on the next page, schedule a call with me, and again, and let me know on the call as well. Let me know on the call that you've seen this little part at the end. You've seen this little part where I said, that I respect you for watching this video until the end. Guys, it's been an absolute pleasure. I am just loving my work so much. I hope that you guys get to experience this as well, making life-changing money in the AI industry. It's so much fun. I'm so happy for all my clients. They're doing insanely well. We're getting just such insane results. Some results, by the way, that are so good that I feel like sometimes I'm like, oh God, like, the results are so good that some people could sit there thinking, oh, is that too good to be true? And it can almost like put people off. Again, I'm like most gurus, not that I consider myself a guru, by the way, but most gurus have to really, they have to amplify their results and exaggerate it. I'm the exact opposite. I have to tone it down, because some of them are so good that it's like, people could be sat there thinking, oh no, is this a scam? Is this too good to be true? But this is what this industry does. Anyways, guys, I better leave it there. It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for watching. Please do go ahead, click the link in the description, watch that video. If you feel like it aligns with you, schedule a call with me. I will see you in the next video.